All right, let's talk VDI. Welcome, everyone. If you are an IT professional managing virtual desktop infrastructure, you are going to want to pay attention to this explainer. Today, we are tackling a really fascinating but honestly kind of challenging topic. We're looking at that delicate tightrope walk between maximizing your VDI memory efficiency and defending against the very real, very serious threats to hypervisor security. It's a classic double-edged sword. Let's get right into it. So here's a question I know a lot of you ask, especially when you are staring down your monthly data center bills. Why aren't we just using memory deduplication everywhere? I mean, as IT pros, the drive to save RAM, and by extension, save a ton of money, is practically hardwired into us, right? Memory dedupe sounds like an absolute magic bullet. It saves massive amounts of space. So it's a totally valid question to ask why a feature that does so much heavy lifting isn't just universally enabled by default across the board anymore.
Well, to answer that, let's quickly baseline our understanding here. What exactly is transparent page sharing, or TPS? In plain English, TPS is just the process where a hypervisor, like VMware ESXi, handles memory deduplication. It acts kind of like a housekeeper, finding identical memory pages across different virtual machines and just consolidating them into a single page on the host's physical memory. By stopping the system from hoarding redundant data, it frees up all this physical memory for other things. It's a brilliant piece of engineering.
Here is our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start with the memory deduplication dilemma, then uncover side-channel memory leaks, and look at how attackers can actually steal keys. After that, we'll assess TPS threats against BMC vulnerabilities, go over how to safely enable sharing, and wrap up with monitoring logs and access. Section 1. The memory deduplication dilemma, efficiency versus security.
Let's look at the operational reality on the ground. VDI environments inherently massively benefit from deduplication. Think about VMware Horizon using just-in-time desktop delivery. When you are spinning up hundreds of non-persistent guests from a single running base image, you're going to have an ocean of duplicate memory pages. TPS swoops in and maximizes your physical resource utilization on those dense hosts. But, and this is a really big but, VMware actually had to step in. In later ESXi versions, they completely disabled inter-VM sharing globally by default. Why would they kill off the ultimate money-saving feature? Because some truly severe cross-tenant security vulnerabilities started popping up. The exact same feature saving you RAM was potentially leaking your data right over to neighboring VMs.
Which brings us to Section 2, uncovering side-channel memory leaks, or what I like to call the copy-on-write sonar. Okay, to understand why VMware hit the brakes on this, we have to look at how the attack actually works. It's built on a brilliant, though definitely malicious concept. You see, memory deduplication uses a copy-on-write technique. If a page is shared between two VMs, and one VM decides to modify it, the hypervisor has to make a brand new copy of that page first, so the other VM isn't messed up. The secret sauce here is time. Writing to a shared, deduplicated page takes noticeably longer than writing to a normal, unshared page. Attackers figured out they can use this time delay exactly like a submarine uses sonar. By timing how long a memory write takes, they can ping the system and detect if a specific page already exists in the memory of the VM next door. If we follow the flow of this academic model, it's wild how it works. Over on the left, you have the sender VM modifying specific pages, which basically encodes a signal. Because the hypervisor had already merged these pages, modifying them breaks that deduplication. Then, on the right, the receiver VM tries to write to its own copy of those exact same pages and times how long it takes. If the write happens fast, it means the page was already modified and unshared by the sender. If it's slow, the page is still shared. Through this covert, timing-based channel, attackers can literally transmit binary ones and zeros straight across the hypervisor boundary. No network required.
Section 3. Stealing keys via page sharing. Scenario 2.
Now, let's take that abstract covert channel and apply it to a concrete threat. This quote right here perfectly highlights what VMware researchers called Scenario 2. An attacker could potentially get their hands on encryption keys being used on a completely different system, all thanks to page sharing. Now, take a breath, because as Stephen Wagner notes here, this technique works only in a highly controlled system configured in a non-standard way, so it's exceptionally difficult to pull off in the wild. But look, in the world of security, difficult doesn't mean impossible. If your environment handles sensitive encryption keys, the threat to your data confidentiality, no matter how complex the attack is absolutely real.
Section 4. Assessing threats. TPS versus BMC. Hypervisor versus bare metal risk.
Let's shift gears for a second and put this into perspective. How does a hypervisor memory leak actually stack up against other massive data center nightmares? We'll take a look. On the one side, we have the TPS side channel attack. It targets the hypervisor and VM memory, and crucially, it requires the attacker to already have local access on a neighboring VM. The endgame there is covert data and key exfiltration. Now contrast that with a bare metal vulnerability, like the recent AMI MegaRack BMC flaw. That targets the out-of-band management hardware itself, and worse, it can be exploited remotely, sometimes right over the internet, by bypassing Redfish API authentication. The impact there is just catastrophic. We're talking firmware tampering, deploying ransomware, persistent rootkits, and throwing servers into indefinite reboot loops. Both are bad, obviously, but BMC vulnerabilities give an attacker complete, remote, bare metal takeover, whereas TPS is a highly localized, incredibly complex side-channel leak.
Section 5. Safely enabling VDI memory sharing. Configuration strategies. So, if you're managing a VDI cluster, and you absolutely need the density and the cost savings that TPS provides, how do you actually turn it on without risking your whole environment? The key is restricted configuration. First things first, evaluate your setup. If you host highly sensitive data or security keys, just keep TPS off. It's not worth it. If you do want to proceed, yes, you can technically enable it globally in ESXi by setting memshare force salting to 0 in advanced settings, but honestly, a much smarter approach is using what's called salting. This lets you configure restricted groups of trusted VMs that are allowed to share memory pages with each other, but not with anyone outside their group. And if you're a VMware Horizon admin, you have it pretty easy. You have dedicated settings to restrict deduplication to just an individual virtual machine, across a specific desktop pool, or across an entire pod. You mitigate that cross-tenant exposure, but you still claw back some of that sweet performance.
And finally, Section 6. Monitoring logs and access. Defensive procedures.
Okay, so we've covered how to configure it safely. Now let's talk about how you play defense. Essential monitoring means you have to watch multiple layers. Step 1 covers the bare metal threat we just talked about. Strictly monitor your BMC firmware logs. You are looking for any unexpected behavior or unauthorized Redfish admin accounts being created out of nowhere. Steps 2 and 3 apply directly to the memory deduplication attacks. If you are running Linux VMs, you should be tracking the PSS, or proportional set size. You'll find it right in the SMAPS file. PSS is basically the number of memory pages a process is using, weighted by how many of those are deduplicated. Now, if you turn off the sharing mechanism after the initial merge happens, your PSS numbers should stay totally fixed. If an attacker manages to deploy a kernel rootkit that messes with read-only data, like altering the system call table, those shared pages instantly become unshared. That means your PSS value is going to suddenly spike or change. It acts as a literal real-time alarm bell for kernel tampering and unauthorized memory tweaks.
Well, we have covered a ton of ground today in this explainer, from the undeniable efficiency gains of transparent page sharing in VDI to those incredibly sneaky covert side channels that force us to rethink our default security postures. So I'm going to leave you with one final thought to chew on as you look at your own environments. Are the undeniable resource and cost savings of memory duplication truly worth the relentless ongoing vigilance required to defend your hypervisor layer? It's a tough call. Thank you so much for joining me today, and keep your infrastructure safe out there.